Hello, everyone. It is Coach Mo, and I am here for another rousing, controversial, push the borders, push the myths out. Coach Mo Live. And please do let me know that you are here when you're here, where you're from. If you're one of my clients, please let me know that so I can say hello. And I just had ink smear all over my fingers. So let's hope I don't touch anything that's going to matter on that. You just have one of those moments where you're like, okay, that just happened, and I'm live on Facebook. So let me know who you are, where you are, what's going on. Today we're talking about, hello, Erin. We are talking about how you were raised as a girl makes quitting appealing. Here's why. And I'm going to talk about all the things that tend to layer on us women as we are navigating our careers, and why certain landmines, pitfalls happen predictably for women and not as much for men. Now, this is going to be a controversial topic. I may actually talk about some things that are not family friendly. Just warning you, especially with ink on my fingers, you never know how crazy I'm going to go on a day like today. So I really want to open this conversation up really big, very wide, because it is a big problem in women's careers. And it's one of the reasons why during the pandemic, so many women moved themselves out of the workforce, moved themselves down the workforce. And according to Newsweek and McKinsey and Lean In Oregon, all the people who've done research on this, women are losing millions of dollars over their career lifetimes because of how we're raised. We are raised in very specific ways to basically help preserve the species. Okay, let's just lay it out there. This is all very primitive stuff. It comes from thousands of years ago. I think most of us are familiar with the fact that women are the child bearers of the species. And because of that, there are expectations on how we are and who we are in the world based on thousands and thousands and thousands of years of training. Now, I didn't get thousands of years of training about how to be a woman or a girl, but all of my ancestors passed it down. Now, I happen to have a granddaughter and a grandson, and I know how it goes. Okay, I really do. And I'm trying to flip the script a little bit as I'm interacting with them so it's not the traditional stereotypes. Go ahead and comment below and give me a stereotype in the comments on how you were raised while I'm telling you a story about a very poignant time in my childhood that I got a very significant message about who I was supposed to be and who I was not supposed to be as a young girl. My mom was really close to her first cousin. They were best friends growing up. And this woman was my godmother. So she was sort of like an aunt to us as we were growing up. And we would visit often and intermingle our families, etc. Well, my godmother lived next to the coolest playground ever. So when we went to visit, there was an urgency on my part to get to that playground. I was a tomboy growing up. I liked to challenge myself. I liked to climb things. I liked to prove I could. So that's part of my personality. It's part of how I show up in the world. It's one of the reasons why I was a successful executive in the world, because I have ambition and competition as part of my ethos. And I know I came out of the womb like that because as a very young girl, I was racing bikes and big wheels, and I was told not to go too fast. I was told to be careful. And I'm going to tell you what, if you're watching your son or a young boy speeding on a bike, you're probably not going to say, don't go too fast. With my ink finger, I'm saying, So here I go on a visit to my godmother with my mother. For some reason, it was just my mother and I visiting. And my mom sewed clothes all the time for us as kids growing up. She loved to sew. And sometimes it was a pain in the ass because I didn't love what she made, but every now and then she made something that was the bomb diggity. And this particular summer day, I was wearing a really cool pair of white slacks with, of course, my Converse sneakers and a black and white tunic. It was a little bit of a dressy play outfit, more dressy than play, but I was showing up to play. So I felt pretty much like I was owning the world here. Black and white top, white slacks, got my Converse on. I am owning it, feeling great. We get to my godmother's. They, of course, want to have their iced tea. And I'm like, I want to go to the playground. Okay, be back in a little bit. Okay, see you later. And I run as fast as I could to the playground. Why did I run to the playground? Because there is a pole to climb at the playground and a bell to ring at the top. So when you climb to the top of that pole, you can ring the bell. Now, this is in the early 70s. There's no score. There's no one to videotape this. It's me and that bell up that pole. And I knew that I was ready to climb that pole and to do it. So I get myself climbing up that pole. My little bicep muscles are like, and I'm using my feet and my legs to help shimmy up that pole. If you ever climbed a pole, you know what I'm talking about. It takes arm strength. It takes core. It takes leg strength. It takes coordination. Like, we're talking about a serious pole climbing endeavor here. I get up to the top of that pole and I ring the bell and I slide down that pole triumphant. I rang the bell. I run fast over to my godmother's house, back through the backyard. I am so excited to announce to my godmother and my mother that I rang the bell and climbed that pole, and I was a triumphant pole climber. And they looked at me as soon as I came in the door like this. Oh. I'm like, what? I just climbed the pole. I rang the bell. And my godmother looks at me and says, you are all dirty. Little girls shouldn't be doing that, especially not in an outfit your mom just made for you. Oh. And I think my mother squeezed in a good for you, honey. But at this point, my godmother's opinion, God bless her, was that I shouldn't have done that. So here I have a very core conflict of who I am, what I desired to do, how I wanted to show up. I wanted to be acknowledged and feel proud and recognized for having done this incredible feat on the playground. And what I was cut down, denied my glory, pushed into a box, and told that girls don't do that. Now, my heart was so full and so happy when I ran back to that house. And this is what happens when we're having an emotional moment where we're feeling ready and exposed and open and expressed. And then we get a really powerful message. And in this case, it was negative. That message is emblazoned on my soul. And I will tell you this. All my career, I was trying to figure out if I was allowed to be the girl that climbed the pole or if I was supposed to be the girl that got diminished about her accomplishments. This deep conflict that came into my life as a 10-year-old girl has been with me all my life. And on top of that, what happens to us all, and I know you ladies all probably have stories similar. There are a few I have where I had expressed and exposed myself and got positive kudos, but this particular moment confused the heck out of me and damaged my enthusiasm for being me. I'm now confused about whether I'm allowed to, supposed to, given permission as a girl to be awesome. And I will tell you what, most of the messages I got before that time and after that time were that I was not given permission by family, society to be awesome. This makes it really easy for us to consider quitting when things get rough. This makes it really easy for us to bail out of performance at work and into something that feels more socially acceptable for us to donate our time and effort to, which is family matters. And I'm not saying don't do that. I was a working mom for most of my career. I get that. I coached basketball for a couple of years. Like, I get the conflicts and the overloaded plate that we get as women. I totally get it. How we're raised makes the sacrifice of our career for something else a more obvious choice. It's a really obvious social pressure. And probably, if you were raised like me, a familial pressure as well. To back down when the going gets rough, because that's the messages I got as a young girl. And I know for the thousands of women I've spoken to about their careers, it's the same thing. We're lucky as women to be acknowledged for our fullest expression of power. But most of the time, our society, our families put pressure on us not to do that. Why do you want a bigger job? Isn't the job you have already good enough? Said no one to your brother. Said no, never said to a guy, but it's said to women all the time. Why do you need another job? Why do you want to get a promotion? If you work harder, aren't you just going to be sacrificing the time with your kids? Guilt, shame. We are shamed about our success every single turn. Again, this is why women want to quit, because we are socialized and conditioned to back down. You know, on the playground, girls are told to share their toys. They're told to sacrifice how they feel and to share their toy. Now, this day and age, perhaps boys are starting to get those messages, but that's not what they got. On the playground, usually boys are allowed to fight, struggle, and compete for a toy or for a ball or for being first, whereas girls are pushed back and are told to be polite. A few years ago, I was staying at a hotel and relaxing by the pool, reading a book, I'm sure on personal development or spiritual development, like I do. And in the pool, there was a lot of noise and commotion. It was a man playing football with two young boys. One of them, as I was watching and observing, was his son, and the other was just some boy who happened to be playing at the pool. So neither of them really knew him, but this kid just felt totally invited to play football because it's a football and it's the pool. And why couldn't any boy just join in? And the father and the son just went with the flow and allowed that to happen. Very, very beautiful, subtle message that, of course, you're welcome to play and enjoy and participate. Girls, wait for your turn. That's not your ball. Okay? The man, the father, was tossing the football to his son and playing a game of competition with his son and this new boyfriend, this little kid who was also joining them in the football. And the father was encouraging them to compete for the ball. And he would encourage both of them, not just his son. Go up and grab that ball. Elbow him. You got that. You can get that ball. Go for it. Now I know as I'm sitting there that if that was a girl, the girl will be told to wait her turn, not push so hard. Who does she think she is to go after that ball? I know for sure that's what would have happened. And I'm watching this play out like a normal thing where these two boys were being encouraged to be competitive and to fight for the ball and to go after it. And it didn't matter if one of them hurt the other. That's how it goes. Now, if you put that into the corporate world, what happens? You all know what happens. The boys are boxing us out, elbowing us, going after what they want, and they don't quit. They demand something more, or they will take another new job just because it's in their best interest. How many women put loyalty as one of their top values and then stay at jobs, much less in relationships, way too long? Why in the world, ladies, are we waiting for someone to recognize us, hoping it'll be different because of how you were raised? No offense to your parents, teachers, society at large is telling us this as young girls. It's no wonder as women in the workplace, we're confused. And yes, you can go after it. But here's the thing, inside of you, there's so much conflict about whether you're allowed to go after it. So much conflict. And look, working with me, you're going to get a great resume, great LinkedIn, great interview prep. You'll know exactly the direction to go in. But we don't do that until we get you going on bringing your soul back to life, because I know what it's like to be a powerful woman trying to be successful in the corporate world. And yes, I climbed to the highest levels, but I bruised myself. I suffocated my soul. I tried to play by the rules. I was confused. I did every misstep that I see my clients doing. I was there. And I retired 7 years ago so that I could help more women achieve, more women erase this conflict and be in the power of their souls. This is what it's all about, ladies. We must step into our truth and our power and not let society push us down or shame us for wanting to be successful. But we take it all the time. And I'm not blaming you, because you don't know any better, because you were raised that way as well. I get it. This is why my approach on bringing your soul to work, so that you can land your dream job. The magic in it is bringing your soul back to life, which means your power. If you're new to my work, it starts with a clarity call. It's mofall.com/liveclarity. mofall.com/liveclarity. And we will talk with you about whether we can help you or not. If we can, there's a life-changing process in front of you that we'll take you through. Not only do I, but my coaching team will take you through a proven formula, because I removed these barriers one at a time so that I could climb to the highest level. Why? Because it's gratifying. It's satisfying to move up the ladder, make more money, have a bigger impact, run a great team, build a company, take them through acquisitions and mergers and transformation itself. It's satisfying to the soul to be successful. I know it's not the only part of your life, but it is the greatest contribution that you will make in the world is your work, even as a mom or a stepmom or any other family member scenario that you have. Sure, that's fun, satisfying, and it's a gift to the world to have awesome kids. But your contribution personally, your impact personally, will feel so good when your soul is expanded to its truth. And you are no longer shamed for wanting to be successful, wanting to have an impact, wanting to make more money, wanting to have a better future. I just showed some of my clients an interview by a very successful woman, and she said, I paid my dues early so I could have more freedom. And that's exactly what part of a career is all about. You pay your dues early. And when you work in sync with your soul's power and your skills and your purpose, all woven into one piece in a successful career that enhances you. It's such a great feeling. It's such a great feeling. I'm seeing a comment from Evelise. I appreciate your perspective, Evelise, but I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to do a little play here. I look at the world in a different color. We see out in the world the filter that we have, which is why, as women, when we are diminished, when we are put upon, we're going to see that more frequently because it's our expectations. So, absolutely be in your truth and in your power, but imagine the world being in your favor. Imagine all the chips falling your way. As a matter of fact, I wrote a book about it. What if, over on this shoulder, what if all the world is for you? And I invite you, if you're watching me live, to watch my Facebook group, Coach Mo Fall, for a special invite to a very, very special book reading and consciousness upgrade that I'm giving this Saturday. I want everyone on this planet to know that they are blessed. You are blessed. You have a soul that is urging for its greatest expression. And everything in your way, including how we're raised as daughters and sisters and young girls, puts us in a position to have to fight a little bit more for what our truth is, to have to express ourselves through our challenges. That's what makes us stronger. And for all of my beautiful clients who have joined me today, and thank you, ladies, for joining me today on this important and powerful message, I want to let you all know that your soul's truth and your soul's energy and power is the thing that'll keep riding you above the waves of what society is pressing down on all of us. And if you're a woman of color, it could be double or triple the pressure on you. That when you get your soul lifted up into a way that is absolutely the most perfect emerging of who you are as a soul, there is nothing better than exerting her in the world. There is nothing better than being the fullest expressed version of you. And my clients know this. And ladies, thank you for showing up today. Erin, Michelle, Rebecca, welcome to the Kick-Ass community and sisterhood. Linda K, nice to see you as well. Ladies, I know what it's like to fight in the corporate world with one or both arms tied behind my back. I get it. I do. And I ascended even though because I learned truths along the way. But you don't have 30 years to figure that out. That's why we compress all of these beautiful lessons and all of this transformation in a 12-week process. And my clients know by their ascension and their transformation that they're living in a more centered, more powerful version of themselves than maybe your imagination would even allow you to feel. Because when you are surrounded by experts who know what the road looks like, when you're surrounded by a community of sisterhood who knows that their truth is calling their name, and you're with them together on a journey, and you're with a team of experts who know exactly how to guide you. My team and I know exactly how to guide you. And much less this, we have a proven, consistent formula that when you follow that formula with our expertise and this sisterhood right there with you, you're going to make strides in your soul power and in your career that appear actually miraculous. It's a miracle that we can get women who haven't worked in 2 years back into their career at a high level. And in 12 weeks, transform that beautiful woman's soul and her career trajectory. Yes, I am thinking about a particular woman who was in our workshop over the summer. 2 years she didn't work. She had lost her job and her dad in a couple of months' time and was basically lost in life. And she was grappling for an answer. And like almost all of my clients, was scrolling on Facebook one day and saw my message, booked a clarity call, had a powerful aha or two, and said, yeah, my way's not working. And she believed enough in us, and she believed in herself that she had left on the table, so to speak. There is a power in believing in yourself even when the chips are down. And she did, and we took her through a powerful process. She landed a beautiful job around 8 weeks in. I could rattle off hundreds and hundreds of stories of the beautiful women who have followed our process and gotten coached by us, who now make up one of the most powerful sisterhoods on the planet, the Kick-Ass Sisterhood. Here is the truth. How you were raised as a girl makes backing down in your career appealing. How you were raised as a girl was not to empower your success, but to diminish it so you can make room for someone else, or to take care of everyone else in the room and put yourself last. That is not a successful career strategy, but it is one that haunts you from the very earliest days of being a young girl. I know that your parents and teachers and the people around you and society at large didn't really mean to push you backwards. Didn't really mean to make your life difficult. Thank you, Aaron. That's a nice comment. Thank you. But here's the thing. Your soul has to triumph over it. And that is the whole thing. When you are given a challenge, an obstacle, how you come through it and come across it and come over it is what defines you. Not whether you will have challenges or obstacles, because we all have them. Like I said earlier, I had almost every single one of them in my career. And today, and again, if you're watching me live, today I'm wearing pink because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm going to tell you this. One of my deepest challenges in life was coming through my breast cancer and double mastectomy. My deepest challenge brought me to the deepest level of my soul and my truth and gave me now the insight into who I am for my clients. I came back from that as a better leader, and I continued to work in the corporate world for 7 years more and kept enhancing my truth, which was my power to help lift others. That's not always a very popular thing to be in the corporate world. But when you do it with the right strategy, and when you do it because it's your truth, it is very successful. I want you this week to be aware of the times that you come across in your language, in your actions, in your tendencies that come from being raised as a girl who was told to back down, who was told she didn't have the power, or in my case, shamed for making my clothes dirty because I accomplished something. I want all of us in solidarity this week to think about overcoming those messages, as subtle as some of them were, but they were all in the bucket of shaming us into being successful, shaming us into trying to be bursting through the boundaries of what it is to be a girl and a woman in this world. So many of my clients are raising their children more empowered because of the work that they've done with us. I definitely want to help as many women as I can. If you're a professional woman who is not where she wants to be in her career, if you've got education, expertise, and experience, and you're going, Why am I not where I should be? If that is on your heart, if your soul feels depleted and crushed, let's get to work. And the first step is a clarity call. We book hundreds and hundreds of complimentary clarity calls per month. And you can access that at mofall.com/live clarity. On that call, we will get to the truth about what's really going on. And we will help you explore what you could be doing, ought to be doing, want to be doing in your career. And if we can help you close that gap, if it makes sense for us to work together, if the timing is right and you're ready to be coached, if you're ready to really up level, then we may have a fit and we may work together. Thousands of women have said yes over the years and changed their lives forever, changed their children's lives, their futures, their financial situation forever, healed deep wounds. And I will tell you this, the magic of bringing your soul back to life is exactly the superpower that you need in order to overcome the disadvantages you have in the corporate world. And make no mistake about it, as a woman in the corporate world, you have disadvantages. Your soul's power and truth and its full alignment is the answer to overcoming this very big barrier that it's almost impossible to leap over unless you bring your soul's truth and alignment to the table. And thank you for that comment, whoever it was. Sorry, I can't see your name. 4 weeks in the program, feel major energy shifts toward clarity and direction. Thank you, Team Mo. You are absolutely welcome. And I'm glad you decided to say yes to yourself, because here's the truth. Every one of you, your souls, are the most important thing on this planet to get back into power, because you help the rest of the world. And I'm here to help you with our proven formula, our awesome team of coaches, and our awesome sisterhood to move you in the right direction. Let's get that depleted soul and that career that's not being leveraged to work for you, not so that you have to work for it. Let's get that in the right direction. This is Coach Mo Fall, everywhere on social media at Coach Mo Fall, mofall.com. And to get the ball going, book yourself a complimentary career clarity call at mofall.com/live clarity. We are here to help you heal, lift up your power, and be more awesome in the world than you've been able to be. And I know being raised as a girl is sometimes the most important obstacle to overcome in order for you to be successful at the level that makes you sing in here. We'll see you next time. This is Coach Mo. Let's be aware of where that being raised as a girl is tripping us up, and let's take care of business and do something about it. mofall.com/live clarity. All of you clients who joined me today, thank you so much. You're awesome. Keep rolling forward and bring that soul to life every single day. The world needs you.